One bad decision up here doesn't mean a delay. It means you're stranded on ice, hours from help, in a killing cold. This is the story of an old Canadian plane that keeps flying where modern aircraft simply can't survive today. And here's where it gets serious. Canada's Arctic isn't just cold, it's hostile. We're talking minus 30, minus 40, even minus 60 degrees. The kind of cold pilots joke about like it's Costa Rica, because if you don't laugh, it'll break you. There are no highways cutting through this land, no backup airports every few miles, just endless white, frozen lakes and rock. Up here, lakes become runways, ice becomes concrete, and mistakes don't come with second chances. A jet needs long, paved runways, delicate systems, and perfect conditions. None of that exists here. Big aircraft freeze, sink, or need infrastructure that simply isn't available. When something goes wrong, you're not calling a tow truck. You're miles from nowhere, with the sun dropping fast and the cold closing in. This is a place where fuel has to be carried as cargo, where engines need to be heated just to wake up, and where pilots choose landing spots by eye, not comfort. Modern aviation wasn't built for this reality. This environment demands something tougher, simpler, and brutally reliable by sheer necessity. And this is where the Twin Otter earns its reputation. Built in Canada in the mid-1960s, it wasn't designed to impress at air shows or break speed records. It was built to work. Short takeoff, short landing, heavy loads, bad weather. This plane was engineered around real northern problems. Its high-lift wings let it claw into the air from strips shorter than football fields and settle onto ice, snow, or gravel without complaint. Decades later, it's still here because nothing replaced its balance of simplicity and strength. Systems are rugged, forgiving, and easy to fix, far from hangars. Pilots trust it because it talks back honestly. It doesn't pretend conditions are safe when they're not. Small by modern standards, yes, but that size is exactly why it succeeds. One plane, endless roles. Passenger carrier, cargo haulier, fuel truck, rescue lifeline. A small plane with a mission far bigger than its silhouette and legacy endures. But the legend doesn't survive on military stories alone. This is where Air Tindi steps in. Based in Yellowknife, the airline quietly holds the North together, flying across the Northwest Territories, the Yukon, and Nunavut, as if they were one giant neighborhood. One morning, the Twin Otter is packed with passengers heading home. Next, it's stacked with fuel drums, food crates, drill equipment, or environmental samples. There's no fixed routine, only constant adaptation. Mining camps depend on these flights to exist at all. Environmental monitoring stations rely on them to spot problems before they turn serious. Remote communities count on them for supplies, medicine, and connection. And in places with no roads, no rail, and no margin for error, reliability beats luxury every time. The Twin Otter dominates northern commercial aviation because it fits the job perfectly. It can land where others can't, carry what others won't, and leave again without drama. Up here, that's not convenience, it's survival. Pilots, mechanics, and communities all trust it because failure here isn't inconvenient. It's dangerous, expensive, and sometimes fatal in the Arctic North every day. Wait, you're watching right now but not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did. Okay, cool. Now back to the planes. And this is where the cold starts fighting back before the plane even moves an inch. Pre-flight in the Arctic looks nothing like a checklist and coffee. Crews roll out massive heaters, basically industrial blow dryers, just to thaw metal as stiff as concrete. Engine tents go on overnight, heaters humming inside so the turbines don't freeze solid. Hydraulics thicken, controls resist, and without heat, the aircraft simply won't cooperate. Avionics are even worse. GPS, radios, screens, they hate the cold. Start cold, and nothing talks to each other. Pilots compare it to plugging in a car during winter, except failure here doesn't mean being late. It means grounded, stranded, or worse. Getting the Twin Otter awake is already a battle. Long before anyone thinks about flying into a white horizon where survival depends on preparation, patience, and experience alone. That reality shapes every decision, every habit, and every ounce of respect pilots have for this machine daily up here. But up here, fuel isn't logistics. It's life. There are no gas stations, no emergency stops, and no forgiveness for bad math. The Twin Otter hauls fuel as cargo, heavy steel drums stacked carefully to keep the weight centered around the wing. Every load is calculated because balance matters when ice is your runway. Across the Arctic, fuel is cached in advance, marked by GPS, and waiting under snow months or even years later. Air Tindi alone stores up to 160,000 liters a year just to keep operations alive. Pilots joke that sometimes it takes fuel to cache more fuel, but nobody laughs if calculations are wrong. Run short, and there's nowhere to go. In this world, fuel errors don't cause delays. They end missions, strand crews, and turn routine flights into survival stories told quietly later, if at all. That pressure never leaves, no matter how many hours you have logged flying north of civilization itself up here. And then there's the part that still feels unreal. The Twin Otter doesn't need concrete. It settles onto snow, ice, frozen lakes, and places jets would never even consider. Pilots circle, reading the surface, hunting for smooth patches, and avoiding drifts and ridges that can wreck a landing. With its high-lift wings, the aircraft leaps off the ground in under 250 meters, climbing away before danger catches up. That wing design is everything, generating lift at slow speeds where jets simply fall out of the sky. Modern aircraft demand long, paved runways, perfect angles, and controlled environments. The Twin Otter thrives in chaos. It goes where runways don't exist, turns lakes into lifelines, and proves again and again that performance isn't about speed. It's about control, precision, and getting airborne when nobody else can, safely, reliably, every single time up north of nowhere. That mastery is why this aircraft still owns the Arctic sky today, despite decades of newer, faster, flashier designs. This is where the Twin Otter stops being just useful and starts being strategic. Inside the Royal Canadian Air Force, it's known as the CC-138, and it belongs to 440 Transport Squadron, better known as the Vampires. They operate north of the 60th parallel, a massive stretch of territory most people will never see, but Canada must constantly assert. Up here, sovereignty isn't a line on a map, it's presence. Flights mean visibility, supply, response, and control. The CC-138 isn't glamorous, but it's relentless. It hauls troops, food, fuel, and equipment into places with no infrastructure, landing on ice, snow, and sea surfaces that don't forgive mistakes. Its durability matters because rescue can be days away. Its versatility matters because missions change fast. One day it's logistics, the next it's medevac or ranger support. This aircraft quietly anchors Canada's Arctic defense, not with weapons, but with access. Without it, patrols stop, supply chains break, and vast regions go dark. In the far north, showing up is power, and the Twin Otter makes that possible. And now we're into the most unforgiving flying you can imagine. With ski wheel combinations, the Twin Otter becomes something else entirely. Wheels retract, skis extend, and suddenly a frozen lake becomes a runway. But pilots don't just land blindly. They perform touch-and-go inspections, brushing the skis across snow to check for hidden danger. Water under the surface is the real threat. If skis touch slush, they can freeze instantly, locking the mechanism and trapping the aircraft. No takeoff, no return. Training focuses on reading ice texture, snow color, light angles, and even shadows. Pilots learn to judge thickness, roughness, and risk with nothing but experience. This isn't taught in simulators. It's learned miles from nowhere, under supervision, with consequences always close. Every approach is deliberate. Every decision matters. Because once you commit to landing, you're accepting that help may not come. Ski operations turn flying into a survival judgment, and the Twin Otter gives pilots the control and forgiveness they need when there's no backup plan waiting. And just when everything looks manageable, the weather steps in. Whiteouts arrive without warning. Ice crystals hang in the air, erasing depth, flattening the world into nothing. Winds can rip across open ice at nearly 100 kilometers an hour, pushing visibility to zero. In these conditions, skill means knowing when not to fly. Crews constantly reassess, diverting at the last second, turning back after hours airborne. That's not failure, it's survival. Arctic pilots live by one rule: always have an out. Always assume the destination won't work. Fuel is planned for diversions, alternates are chosen early, and pride never overrides judgment. Because once visibility collapses, there's no arguing with nature. The Twin Otter can handle punishment, but it can't defeat weather. Out here, the sky decides everything, and the smartest pilots are the ones who respect that truth before it's too late. This is where aviation becomes personal. The Canadian Rangers are the eyes and ears of the Arctic, drawn from local and Indigenous communities who know the land better than any map ever could. They patrol on snowmobiles, skis, and foot, often hundreds of kilometers from permanent settlements. For them, the Twin Otter isn't just transportation, it's survival. When Rangers need resupply, evacuation, or extraction, this aircraft is often the only way in or out. Runways aren't built, they're created. Snowmobiles pack down ice, mark landing paths with flags or fuel drums, and clear just enough space for one safe arrival. Medevacs happen in brutal conditions, where minutes matter, and the weather doesn't care. Food, fuel, ammunition, and medical gear all depend on successful coordination between air and ground. Trust is everything. Pilots trust Rangers to prepare the surface. Rangers trust pilots to bring the plane home. In the Arctic, survival isn't individual heroics, it's cooperation. And the Twin Otter is the bridge that makes it possible. In the Arctic, complexity can get you killed. Modern aircraft rely heavily on sensors, automation, and digital systems that assume ideal conditions. The Twin Otter assumes nothing. Fuel gauges can freeze or fail mid-flight, so pilots don't panic. They adapt. Dipsticks come out. Fuel is measured manually. Weight and balance are calculated by hand. Systems are designed to be understood, not interpreted through screens. This aircraft rewards experience over automation and judgment over software. When something breaks, crews can diagnose it without laptops or satellite links. That matters when temperatures shatter electronics and distances punish mistakes. Simplicity isn't outdated here. It's protective. Every system does exactly what it needs to do, nothing more. In an environment where rescue might be days away, reliability isn't about advanced technology. It's about predictability. The Twin Otter's mechanical honesty keeps pilots alive because it never pretends conditions are better than they are. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The Arctic isn't just ice and snow. It's a modern Klondike, rich with diamonds, gold, and rare minerals. Mining exploration depends on aircraft like the Twin Otter to ferry crews and equipment to sites so remote that roads are a fantasy. Environmental stations rely on it too, delivering scientists, instruments, and even contaminated soil for study. Imagine flying over tundra, dropping off drums of soil that could poison a lake if mishandled, yet trusting this small plane to land safely on uneven ice. Mining companies, environmental teams, and remote communities all depend on the same trusted aircraft. And it's not just utility, it's economic lifeblood. Without the Twin Otter, Arctic exploration would grind to a halt. Supplies, personnel, emergency response all hinge on this hardy aircraft, proving that no matter how advanced other technology becomes, some missions are only possible with a plane that's been tested in brutal reality. Its reputation isn't earned by speed or luxury, it's earned by showing up where nothing else can. Just when you thought technology would take over, jets? Forget it. They need long, smooth runways. Arctic lakes don't qualify. Helicopters? Sure, they hover. But what about range and payload? Not enough for hundreds of kilometers of frozen wilderness. And then there's automation. Modern systems assume warm hangars, reliable satellites, GPS that won't fail, and engines that won't freeze. None of those guarantees exist here. The Twin Otter doesn't need them. Its engines fire up in temperatures that would shut down a modern jet. Its STOL wings let it hug snow, ice, and uneven ground like a cat on a ledge. Pilots rely on skill and experience, not blinking screens. Cargo, passengers, fuel, or emergency extraction, it handles all with unmatched flexibility. No aircraft matches its combination of reliability, versatility, and durability. It's not about being the fastest or newest. It's about showing up and getting the job done in an environment that refuses to accommodate anything else. That's why, decades after its first flight, nothing has replaced the Twin Otter, and likely never will. In the Arctic, resilience matters more than speed. The Twin Otter proves human skill, simple design, and adaptability still outmatch modern tech. It's more than a plane. It's survival, connection, and legacy. Decades later, nothing flies like it, and nothing will. Respect the Twin Otter. It earns it every time it lands.